Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I'm Nina. And today we're talking about the smallest country in the world, Sealand, and this is part 2. And I was so curious about what Sealand looked like, so I Googled it and checked this out.
Wow,
that's so cool. This little thing, this fort, is an actual country.
That is crazy that
right?
someone can call that a country.
Yeah, it is. Well, a little bit that we learned about Sealand in part 1 was that you can actually buy a title to become either a lord or a lady,
That's
right?
So you can buy noble titles from this country. And we also learned that it's a principality, which means that it's a country that is ruled by a prince.
Yes, and it was used to shoot down German airplanes, right, for World War II.
That's right, because it is actually a sea fort. So it's a fort that was used by the British Army to shoot down seaplanes. And also we learned, and as we could see from that picture, it has no trees or actual like dirt or land that you can plant or grow things in. So
yeah, it's just a fort in the middle of the ocean, basically.
Doesn't look like a great place to live, but I think luckily we also learned that it's just off the coast of England.
Yeah.
So that's probably helpful.
Yeah,
you can go back to buy supplies.
Yeah, just drop by England real quick to the grocery store.
Yeah, so I'm curious about how this became a country, why it's a country, and I think we're going to learn more when we get into the article after this.
Sounds good.
Sealand became a nation in 1967. At the time, Roy Bates was on the old sea fort. He wanted to set it up as the new home of his pirate radio station. Then he got a better idea, and Sealand was born. The Bates family continue to rule the country today.
Welcome back. We're talking about part 2 of the smallest country in the world, Sealand. And I think we're going to look into a little bit more about the history of this tiny, tiny country.
Yeah, let's learn about how it actually became a country. Sealand became a nation in 1967. At the time, Roy Bates was on the old sea fort. Okay, so this person, Roy Bates, has something to do with it. He wanted to set it up as the new home of his pirate radio station. Okay, so initially he came onto Sealand and he wanted to set up this fort as a new home for his pirate radio station.
So in this case, though, we're talking about a pirate radio station, which essentially means that it's an illegal radio station. It means that they are not really allowed to be sending out their broadcast, but they do it anyway. So the reasons for that might be that they maybe don't have a license, so they haven't paid the right government or the right officials in order to broadcast their radio. Or it might be that they are sending out some messages that are inappropriate or even illegal to send out, like in some cases where it might be a very controlling government and you want to send out a message to other people that the government wouldn't allow you to send out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's one kind of pirate radio. The article continues. Then he got a better idea and Sealand was born.
Okay.
So was born, and that means in that case when we use born, it's not like a baby being born, but something becoming a new thing, something appearing in the world.
Yes.
So Sealand was born. The Bates family continue to rule the country today.
Okay, so he had a better idea. Initially, he came onto Sealand, or this fort, saying, hey, I'm going to start my pirate radio station here. But then he was like, why not just claim this to be my own country?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Why not? I mean, he already's got the radio station. Now you can have a pirate country.
Yeah, it's like you're stealing the country, huh? Okay, so him and his family, they rule the country till this day. So when you rule, used as a verb, is to control or be the person in charge of something. So such as a country. So they rule Sealand. For example sentence would be, most modern kings and queens rule only in a formal way, without real power, such as England, right?
That's right, the King of England now, and actually is also the King of Canada. So the King of England, who is the King of Britain, who is also the King of Canada, is on our money, and he essentially rules Canada, but really doesn't make any of the choices or decisions, and leaves that up to our Prime Minister to make.
Yeah, so it's more like an image, right?
But I bet that the rulers, this Bates family that rules Sealand, and it must be a Prince Bates that rules Sealand today. I bet he has real formal power on that tiny little fort.
All right, well, let's find out more about his family and how they rule this fort after the break.
Sealand has its own national flag and song. It even has its own stamps and money. Sealand believes in freedom for all, and it provides that to all its people. The Principality of Sealand is truly a special place.
Welcome back, everyone. So we were talking about Sealand and how Roy Bates initially went there to set up a pirate radio station, right?
That's right. He went to this small sea fort, and with the plan of making a pirate radio station there. And a pirate radio station being one that is illegal, so that he can broadcast messages that he was not technically allowed to send.
Yeah, but instead he had a better idea. He thought, why not just make this a country and become a prince?
Yeah, they said he ruled the country until he passed away, but his family still rules the country to this day. So
that is crazy. Wow. So let's learn more about how he made Sealand a country.
Yeah, so the article continues. Sealand has its own national flag and song. It even has its own stamps and money.
Wow, okay, so it has its own national flag and song and stamps and money. I wonder where if they can only use it in their country. What are they paying for?
Maybe there's a 7-Eleven on the
I don't think so.
There's a little 7-Eleven there.
I guess it's just, I don't think that money is actually in use.
Wow.
So
you can trade it between each other.
With I think the population is what, 2 people?
I think so.
Anyways, so it has its own flag and national song, right? So a flag is usually a piece of cloth with maybe an image on it or some symbols that represents something. And in this case, it's a country, right? Yeah, so each country has their own flag, and I guess for him to make it more real, he gave Sealand a flag as well.
That's right, so we give it a national flag. And national as an adjective means something belonging to a nation. So countries will have a national song, you'll have national symbols, you might have national parks, but in this case we're talking about a national flag, so the flag of a country.
Yeah.
And in this case, the national flag of Sealand is red and black with a diagonal white stripe going between it. And there are other types of flags. So national meaning belonging to a country. If you had something like provincial, meaning belonging to a province, or a state flag would be belonging to a state.
Yeah, so flags represent something, and in this case, depending on what it is, right? So there's also like the white flag, right? When you wave your white flag, what does that mean?
Surrender. It means I give up. Wave the white flag.
So they also have their own stamps, which is a noun. It's a small piece of paper with a picture or pattern on it that's stuck to a letter or a package before they post it. So maybe you can send like a package from Sealand. They have their own stamp, right? And they can just like ship it
maybe.
to England.
It would have to be accepted by the other country's post office as well for it to be sent.
I wonder if it actually works. But here's an example sentence. I stuck a 50-pence stamp on the envelope. Okay. So continuing with the story, Sealand believes in freedom for all, and it provides that to all its people. Okay, so everyone is free. So I guess is it like a democracy or
freedom? They have freedom for all. So freedom is a noun meaning the power to speak, act, or think as you would like to.
Yeah.
So freedom means you can do what you want and not be controlled by the government.
I see, or by the prince in this case. Continuing?
The Principality of Sealand is truly a special place.
Yes, Sealand is a very special place for sure. So truly a special place. This case, truly is an adverb and it's used to focus on the fact that what you're saying is true or it's really something, right? So for example, at this time of the year, the river is truly beautiful sight.
So truly means exactly the same as really, I think. We use those almost interchangeably to say like it's truly a nice day today or it's really nice weather.
Or like even very, for example.
So what do you think, Nina? Is the Principality of Sealand a kind of place that you would like to visit?
I mean, I would visit for sure. I don't see myself living on a fort that small. I do enjoy my 2-minute walks to 7-Eleven.
Well, if they have a 7-Eleven, I think it'd be like a 1-minute walk.
Okay. I mean, if they can put a 7-Eleven on there and make sure I have everything I need, then sure. But if I have to go, you know, across the ocean just to get some groceries, I don't think that will work for me.
Well, you know, I think it's a place that I would like to visit because I'm trying to check off all the countries I've been to and get my list longer. So if I can just stop into Sealand for a day and pick up some stamps maybe as a souvenir,
that would be cool.
That would be an interesting trip to take.
Yeah, and I wonder if they let tourists on Sealand. I know that you can take a boat around it, but I don't know if you can go on it or they probably have a limit on how many they can have in a day.
I wonder if there's a hotel I can stay at.
I wonder too. All right, so thank you for joining us today and we will see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Sealand became a nation in 1967. At the time, Roy Bates was on the old sea fort. He wanted to set it up as the new home of his pirate radio station. Then he got a better idea, and Sealand was born. The Bates family continue to rule the country today. Sealand has its own national flag and song. It even has its own stamps and money. Sealand believes in freedom for all, and it provides that to all its people. The Principality of Sealand is truly a special place.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 rule 动词统治。Richard is going to be a king and rule the country. Richard 即将成为国王，统治这个国家。下一个单字 flag 名词旗子。There are many flags flying outside the stadium. 体育场外有许多旗子正在飘扬。Stadium 就是体育场。那么国旗怎么说呢？就是 national flag。下一个单字要来考考大家。What can travel around the world while staying in a corner? 什么东西待在一个角落却能环游世界呢？给你们3秒的时间。答案就是 stamp。Stamp 就是邮票。我们来看看这个句子。My brother likes to collect stamps. 我哥哥喜欢集邮。最后一个单字 freedom 名词自由。People don't have the freedom of speech in some countries. 有些国家的人民没有言论自由。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 set up A as B， 将 A 设立为 B。Set up 是一个可以分开的动词片语，意思是设立、建立。我们来看看这个例句。The government set up this place as a home for abused women. 政府把这个地方设立为受虐妇女之家。Abused 就是受虐的。下一个文法 Something was born， 某物诞生。Born 的主词是一个事物的时候 ，born 表示诞生的、产生的。我们来看看这个例句。When was the first robot born? 第一个机器人是什么时候诞生的啊？最后一个文法 provide A to B， 提供 A 给 B。Provide 是动词提供的意思。我们来看看这个例句。Our school provides free lunch to students. 我们学校为学生提供免费午餐。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，回去记得复习哦。我们下一课再见，拜拜。
3A House Gallery is the only building on ground level in the Maple Garden. The 3 A's stand for architecture, art, and alive. The 4 sides of the building are made of glass. There are exhibition and reception areas inside. It often holds interesting exhibitions. There's also an outdoor classroom. The seating is covered with grass and fits in well with the natural environment. It's a perfect place to see a show or just to rest and chat with family or friends.